He prayed for this, and the big man made it happen. In this case, the big man is Jacob Fatu. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jason C. McLean, and these are my assorted thoughts on the January 9th, 2026 WWE Smackdown from Berlin, Germany. I'm recording this Monday, January 12th. It's just before Raw goes live from Dusseldorf, Germany, and I'm probably going to watch that not exactly live, but also way before 8 p.m. when I would normally watch it. Anyways, okay, so let's get into it. It was the final match of the night, the 3 Stages of Hell match. Drew McIntyre challenging Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Now, the first fall was quick, painless, I guess. Drew pulled off the turnbuckle when the ref was distracted, hit a low blow on Cody, Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Get that out of the way. Nobody really wanted to see the straight out wrestling match. But the crowd definitely, and me, we were all definitely into the second stage of hell. It was the Falls Count Anywhere match. They went through the arena. It wasn't exactly Attitude Era where they go out into the cold because that was not part of the rules. But I thought it was great. There was this part where Cody was like hanging off the barricade. I don't think you could do that at some of the arenas we have here, but you could definitely do that in that arena the way it was set up. I was wondering if one of the fans might knock him up, but because the fans predominantly were pro Drew. But at this point, you start hearing them singing Cody Rhodes a little bit. It was a really exciting, like in and of itself, it was a really great match just this fall. And it culminated with Cody not letting Drew Claymore him through the announce table, but instead hitting a crossroads through the announce table. That looked really intense, and the fall was right there on the announce table. It was really great, really exciting. Second fall, and for the third and final fall, the cage match. You knew the steel cage was going to come down. You knew they were going to go to 3 falls because you're not going to bring a cage there and then not bring it down. Anyways, it was a good standard cage match, some fighting on the top, the whole deal. But then the culmination, Drew's trying to escape, opens the door, and some hooded figure, Triple H loves his hooded figures, but it's Jacob Fatu, throws away the ref, attacks Drew, thinking like, oh, great. Drew was the one who attacked him. Of course, this is going to cause Cody the win, but there'll be some controversy. But no, then Cody jumps him like, what are you doing? Fatu attacks Cody, and that takes long enough for Drew to just slide out of the cage, ding, 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 and new undisputed WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. Okay, let's take a step back and just admire the sheer creative guts or balls, whatever, to pull a move like this, to change this championship, a championship which rarely changes hands on anything but a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, and have it change hands on not only a random SmackDown, but a European SmackDown that for most of the world airs live at like 2 p.m, and for Americans with a VPN, but only airs in the States officially at 8 p.m. And this is a major shift. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed the match. The ending, Jacob Fatu, I heard rumors he was going to come back, and I don't think they're trying to say that that Cody was the one who attacked him. I don't think they're turning Cody heel. Jacob's maybe going to be a bit of a tweener. I think there's going to be maybe a fight between Jacob and Cody for the next little bit. But this completely changes what people were sort of trying to predict for their WrestleMania plans, in particular for the absolute main event, the Undisputed WWE Championship match. And kudos to them for doing this. This was really exciting. This was really bold. And they did choose the perfect location to do it in, because apparently it's not just the UK. Drew McIntyre is really over in Europe to the point where they'll even boo Cody Rhodes. So I think they picked, and they probably had, if they had done this in the States, they might have had a massive boos from the crowd. Here you got a bunch of people cheering. So that was good. Now let's talk about, I guess, predictions for the next couple of stages. So they announced on SmackDown that there's going to be next week in London 4 qualifying matches. The winners will face off in a fatal 4-way match at Saturday night's main event in Montreal. I got tickets. I'm going with my brother. It's going to be great. I'm really excited to know this. And the winner of that's going to face Drew, for the Undisputed Championship at the Royal Rumble. Okay, so let's look at the people in the qualifying matches, shall we? We have we got Randy Orton versus The Miz. We have Matt Cardona, not Zack Ryder, versus Trick Williams. We got Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa. And we got Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov. Okay, now my overall prediction based on location, based on the fact this is what I kind of want, because this is the show I'm going to, Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event is in Montreal. The Royal Rumble, where the championship match will be, is in Saudi Arabia. Those are two places where Sami Zayn is incredibly over. His hometown, Montreal, and Saudi. So I predict that Sami Zayn is going to Sami's going to beat Ilya Dragunov and qualify, and he's going to win the Fatal 4-Way in Montreal. That doesn't mean he's going to pin Randy Orton, for example. Like, I think Randy is going to get by The Miz, but maybe The Miz will come back during the match and drag him, and Randy will fight off. I think I'm actually not sure who's going to win between Trick and it's probably going to be Trick, but Cardona did just make his return. Maybe it'll be Cardona, and then Trick will come in and they'll fight off. I'm not sure if it's Damian Priest or it's probably going to be Solo. I think it's going to be Solo Sikoa who wins, and then ultimately it's going to end with Sami pinning Solo Sikoa, and Sami is going to go off to Saudi Arabia. And you know what? He might just win. If he actually wins the Undisputed Championship, I think Cody Rhodes is going to enter the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, and I think he's going to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Now, yes, admittedly, if it's Punk versus Cody, even though it's the World Heavyweight Championship, that match is going to be the night 2 main event. The title, maybe they want to give that title equal importance to the Undisputed WWE Championship and have it main event when WrestleMania with those people might be a way to do it. Because Drew McIntyre is also Sami Zayn's Achilles heel. And if he can have that match against Drew in Saudi, there's going to be such a push for Sami to win. I think he would almost have to. But again, I'm very biased. I'm a Sami Zayn homer, but I think that actually might happen with this setup. And who knows, maybe Roman wins like Elimination Chamber and challenges Sami for the title. That could be an interesting story right there at WrestleMania. That gives that match prominence if Roman Reigns is in it. Regardless, I'm so happy we have these options now. And I think this is this match was and this result was a really amazing way to shake things up in a totally unexpected way. I'm here for it. And these were my assorted thoughts on the... No. I'm kidding. There were other things that happened in this show. I mean, honestly, this is probably going to be a one-thing video, but let's quickly go through the rest of the night. Jordynne Grace versus Alba Fire was decent but short and kind of predictable. But the real takeaway that I'm excited about is what happened after when Jade Cargill came out. Jordynne Grace versus Jade Cargill. Now, this is a program I could get behind. I don't know if Jordan's going to win the championship or anything. Maybe she'll win a match, not for the title, and then she'll lose in the championship match, because I still think it's going to be Bianca Belair who takes on Jade at Mania. But I'm very excited at this development. The beginning segment had, I think, 2 main purposes. One, to make it crystal clear that Trick Williams was very important and main event talent, and that he's somebody who they definitely see as a heel. How else do you guarantee someone's big and also should be booed? Well, you put him out last week against, confronting Sami Zayn. This week, interrupting Randy Orton. And Orton is incredibly over everywhere, including, especially in Europe. So yeah, and Germany, he was huge in Germany last time. He even got cheers in his match against Gunther, who was from the region, what have you. But yeah, Trick Williams just being a total dick to Randy Orton. That made perfect sense. We had a bit of Randy versus The Miz, maybe setting that up for next week. But then we got the match. The third thing they're trying to show is that Trick Williams is really good. He had a really good match with Rey Fenix. I mean, how can you not have a good match with Rey Fenix? Rey Fenix is one of those guys. They're showing that he's important, that he's a heel, and that he's really good in the ring in order to set him up for his eventual feud, run it back from NXT against Carmelo Hayes, who I think they really want to make clear is the babyface this time, because in the NXT, it was Trick the babyface and Melo the heel. Speaking of Melo, he had another really solid U.S. Open Challenge match, this time against Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a really hard-fought match, and they're really showing how the champion is putting himself through the ringer. Shinsuke was working on the leg or ankle. I can't remember what he was definitely working on the body part that was injured. And Melo, of course, squeaked through with a victory. And that's just, like it did for, Sami Zayn was already kind of over, but it got him on TV every week than it did for Ilya Dragunov, who we know, I think is the thing he's planning is going to be, he's going to be in the qualifier match for the Undisputed Championship, with Fatal 4-Way for the Undisputed Championship, but I kind of think Sami Zayn's going to win. More on that earlier. But yeah, they're establishing Melo as this dominant champion. I don't know how long he's going to have the U.S. title for, but these are great matches, and I think this is going to culminate with him versus Trick, maybe for the title. I was enjoying Julia versus Alexa Bliss for the United States Championship, but of course it predictably ended in a distraction and lost due to interference from Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And then Lash Legend and Nia Jax beating down Alexa Bliss because Charlotte Flair was away. So they brought it back to the whole women's tag team scene. They're clearly not taking Charlotte and Alexa out of that scene. Maybe could they possibly be adding Julia and Kiana James to that scene? I hope not, because unless Julia loses the Women's United States Championship, I don't know why they took the belt off Chelsea Green. I think it made sense to give it back to her, let her run as a champion. Maybe they got bigger things on the way for her. Maybe she's going to win the Royal Rumble. Who knows? But if they'd given it back to her and they just, maybe the Secret Service are going to join the tag team scene. I don't know. But at least they're definitely continuing the big push with some of the biggest stars on the women's side being involved in the tag team scene. The Wyatt Six versus Solo and 3 of the MFTs in a 8-man match. It was a good match. It was enjoyable. It was fun. This feud is starting to make a lot more sense. And I like what they're doing at the end. They now have Solo stealing the lantern. It's kind of like Paul Bearer had the Undertaker's power in the urn, and and now the lantern, I don't know, maybe it sort of has symbolizes Bray or the spirit of Bray or something like that, and that's their power. So, I mean, honestly, Triple H era WWE does really well when they have feuds over random objects, like a friendship bracelet, a necklace, the Ulafala, and now over this lantern. So I kind of like that little twist in the thing to bring that feud to the next level, because they can't just keep doing matches or tag title matches. They just got to give it something else. And I think that's the something else they need. These were my assorted thoughts on the January 9th, 2026 WWE Smackdown from Berlin, Germany, which saw a brand new undisputed WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. Do you agree with my assorted thoughts? Which, by the way, I guess you can round it up like an amazing, unprecedented decision to have the title change hands following an excellent match and a pretty decent show leading up to that. So yeah, do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. Also, jasoncmclean.bsky.social on Bluesky. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, WWE Premium Live Event prediction and review videos, and assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. I will be back with my assorted thoughts on the Raw from Dusseldorf. Until then, for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.